So, let's see here. Sean Capri. We're doing...
Sean Capri.
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 127 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri. What is
Bobby?
Up, yeah.
Bobby, we are podcasting into the future. We are time traveling a little bit here, man.
I know.
And we're doing
it in the middle of the day. We haven't done this in a very long time.
Feels good. Feels
yeah,
great.
It does. I look like the sun is shining outside.
I know.
I don't have lights on me. I'm just like hanging out in my room. Lights out, and the sunlight just beaming in. It's glorious.
We're not just trying to finish so that we can go to bed. You know, it's not like the pillows are calling, waiting for us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's on midnight. It's on midnight, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta work tomorrow.
Oh, get out of here. Okay, so peek behind the curtain, everybody. We finish up recording on Friday nights, and Bobby's like, let's talk for another 45 minutes.
That was this week because I didn't work Saturday.
I know.
But when I work Saturday, I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Which is every other week.
It's nice.
Which is every other week. Which is good because next week I won't have to record with you.
You take a little bit of time off, man.
Yeah, well, no, because then I got to record with Toby next Saturday because he can't record Sunday. So, Toby. So
I haven't had a coffee on the show in a little while. I'm all caffeinated, man.
I got my coffee cup's empty. I meant to fill it back up, but whatever.
What?
I know. We sat here and talked for 15 minutes. I should have been like, hey, hold on, Sean. Let me go make a cup of coffee.
I just realized this is a McDonald's coffee. Do you guys have Monopoly? Do you play Monopoly with McDonald's in the America?
Yeah.
You do that thing? Mm-hmm. I'm just realizing I'm not getting a Monopoly piece on this. What the heck, man?
I don't know. Is Monopoly right now?
Well, maybe it just ended. Apparently not.
Apparently not. Or they ran out of cups. They had it on it. So let's dive a couple of things. We're gonna take care of some inside baseball business before we run. So the reason why we're recording a week ahead is you and Chelsea, not you. Yep. You're just going to kind of be there. Chelsea is going to be having a baby. What, next weekend?
On Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
So
a few days ago, as people are listening to this, which is weird.
Yeah, as people are listening, like on Thursday, so it is Sunday, so that means Saturday, Friday. 3 days ago, Chelsea had a baby. Baby girl. Man. Her name is Bobby Marie Capri is the name. That's
that's right. That was a real thing.
It is real
Bobby,
thing.
Because Marie is Chelsea's middle name.
Yeah, Marie.
It's on her.
Bobby.
That's the whole. Yeah, Chelsea Marie.
Bobby Marie Capri. That's what's going to be.
Really good, man. That's really good.
We have a change.org petition going to try to get it to happen. I don't understand why her or Donald Trump haven't responded to it. It doesn't make sense to me. But whatever.
I think if I remember correctly, I'm the one who fills out all the forms, for names and everything like that. And
dude, if you do it, I will give you money. I will send you money.
They'll be stapling her up or whatever they got to do, welding her shut, or whatever. And they hand me all the paper forms. They're like,
You should just be just to mess with her. You should be like Bobby Capri.
Yeah, I'll ask for two, actually, just in case I mess up.
Yeah,
I'll give her, okay, here's what I handed them.
Yeah.
Bobby, oh my god. Dude, I wonder what it would take to undo that.
Her mind. She would lose her mind.
She couldn't hit me.
That's true, because first of all, she's in bed. So she can't do anything. You can just sit on the other side of the room and go, haha. Yeah. How's it feel?
I'm trying to think if I want to try and brave it, because now, we're not going to be traveling to the hospital in the middle of the night or anything. It's planned. Everything's scheduled, which is very strange. Yeah. But they put up the whole curtain, right? So you only see her head basically, but behind the curtain, there's they're pulling out her stomach and her intestines and everything.
Yeah. That's one
thing.
That's one thing I was never going to do.
Oh man.
Who wants to see that?
Yeah, probably.
You wait till it's going to be the final kid.
Probably not.
Then maybe don't even do it then.
Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about, Bobby.
Yeah, you don't know.
Just two sounds pretty good to me.
She's I was talking to her on the thing. She's
I know.
4 or 5 or something like that. Dude, stop.
Here's my number one argument against it. We couldn't even do 3 dogs.
Yeah, there you go. They
didn't play hockey or soccer or nothing.
And how are you doing? Pictures of Link screaming, crying. What'd you do to that kid?
Just put him in soccer, man. He did not have a good time at all.
Apparently not.
He was the only one too. Like, at least the start. Eventually, every kid had a bit of a breakdown at some point, but he was the first one, and everybody else is like, they're doing laps and they're running around having fun, and he just like, yeah.
He didn't want to. He's like, Dad, don't do this to me. I don't want to be part of this.
I'm like, you know what, son? You need to get out some more.
Well, come on, dude. You guys are killing this kid. You put him in swimming. She's talking about ice skating. You got him doing soccer. Like, when does this kid get to have some Lincoln time?
Well, he's going to have a brief Lincoln time.
No,
and then
that's
he's going
not
to
true.
train up on I'm going to get him into gymnastics. He's going to do like those rings, like that iron cross move and everything.
Oh my God.
This kid's going to be jacked, dude.
I feel bad for this kid. This kid,
he's got a great
he was born into the wrong family.
He's got a great life.
Just send him down here to Jersey, man. I'll have him fist pumping with Paulie D and all that stuff.
I'd like to. I'd like to have him visit you.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. Chelsea and I can stay up here and play video games.
I'm fine with that. He could. I'd be out there, be like a 2 TVs, be like, all right, Link, hook it up. We're gonna play some Fortnite, buddy. You grab.
I'm excited. Chelsea keeps saying that now she's gonna, because she's not working, so she feels like she's gonna be actually playing games. I don't know if that's at all possible, but at the same time, like, she can't really move for the first couple days.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I don't know.
So that's why this is early.
So the other thing. Well, it's not really early to anybody else, but we're recording early.
Right.
And then the other thing, like, we could have just ignored it. We could have just acted like nothing. And I said,
we'll do that for next week. People don't realize that we're going to record.
Well, the other thing too is like the other episode just went out, right?
Right.
So
yes, we just talked.
So essentially, like, we might not have a podcast by the time the next one goes off.
That's true.
Because we were kind of like talking about controversial stuff, and I'm sure we upset some people.
I wonder.
And I'm sure they're going to be like,
to address that.
Yeah, they're going to be like, you need to go away. Like, you need to stop podcasting. And
or we attract like this awful new audience. Like, yeah.
Could you imagine? You imagine? I'd be like, oh my God. And because we're not acknowledging on this episode, it makes it look worse than it was, because everybody would expect us to come back, and we're just like, whatever, we're not talking about it. Have fun. We're just,
That's a good point. So I'm glad you brought it up, because I literally was doing that. I'm just like, well, that was an episode. Next one.
The other thing that I think we should maybe talk about is the little closing of something.
Yes.
To make us better.
Yes,
Patreon has closed. And I think
impacts the show not at all.
What's that?
One of the things I want to get clear is that like, I'm still making content.
Yeah.
We the Gamercast probably going to be the biggest thing that's going to be changed, especially over the next couple of months. I feel like I now have less of a obligation, I guess, to make sure that I hit every single week.
Yeah.
Not that I'm really wanting to be too sparse on that kind of stuff, but there's just going to be a couple times where I'm just like, I'm not going to have somebody lined up. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to hit a record on it. And the other thing is, and I'm really sorry, guys, for anybody who really liked the YouTube stuff, I'm going to roll back the video. I'm not going to do the video version anymore. So it'd just be an audio podcast. I get back to just focusing on the conversation and not have to worry about extra edits or extra uploads or anything like that on the YouTube. So those are the biggest changes for me. But this show, you just don't have to say the Patreon stuff at the end is really the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's essentially.
So there's no change for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, for me, I mean, we started it. Myself. Well, the conversation started with you and I. It started with you and I, and then we brought Toby into the mix, and then it was the three of us, and we started there, and then we brought Joseph Moran in, and then I left, Toby left, and then you brought in a bunch of people.
And Mark was next.
Mark was next, and then Nintendo Nostalgia. Then you brought in PSVG. And then recently Joseph left, and then
a lot of change.
Yeah, and then you had stepped aside, and then the consensus was basically, just to shut it down rather than anything else. And it seemed like, I wonder
if you just didn't get divorced, we would have been fine the whole time.
That's what I'm thinking. So we'll just add another thing to blame Tony for.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
I don't know. Like, I think about it. I think about it, right? And I go,
Me and Bobby had a good thing. Thanks, Tony.
Exactly. I wonder, like, where things would have gone if had come back. I understand why you did what you did, in terms of like bringing in new members and stuff, because you guys felt obligated to keep up the content and push forward with that. And for me, I just felt like I was going to get lost in the mix, or was going to have to take on a role of running things. And I didn't want to have to run things and mediate, any bickering or anything that could happen.
That was part of the closure.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was any bickering.
No.
Just a matter of
I just meant
extra
like
thing to look after. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just meant like like in terms of like when we were there and it was just the four of us.
Yeah.
There was times that like things would spark up because this one's doing this and this one's not doing this, and it's like, oh my god. So I thought like, oh my god, it's even a bigger group. I don't even want to get involved in that. Like and not only that, like people came in after I left, and I thought, like, if I come in and I assume the role I had prior of basically running Make Us Better and making sure things are organized, does that now do I ruffle feathers? Like, well, who's this guy just coming in late and taking a cut now? And, so I just was like, so that was it. But for me, the one thing I want to, in all of this, and I think that the one thing that needs to get acknowledged that isn't getting acknowledged to some degree, and I don't know because I didn't read your thing, but
it was long. It didn't make any sense. I wrote it at 1:30 this morning.
But the thing I'll say is this: is that you and I started this based upon people asking us for an ability to give us money.
Yep.
And dude, the community that we built off of that is impressive.
Yeah.
And I personally, like, I know that at the end, I wasn't part of it. I wasn't part of the final decision to shut it down. But I'll say this. I am honored and proud of that community that went for over a year, that was built out of nothing. Yep. It was built out of two guys having a discussion and saying, like, okay, let's do this. And here's the discussion. Hey, man, people are talking to me about wanting to give me money, and you're like, so that they're doing the same thing to me, and I'm like, okay, are you going to start a Patreon? I'm thinking about it. Are you going to start a Patreon? I'm thinking about it. All right, we're going to do our own. No, I don't want to compete against you. And
yeah, we're both saying the exact same thing.
And it's like
that's why I like how you're telling the story. Like nobody, you're not saying who's saying what, because it actually is both of us. Yeah. Also, we said jinx at the end of every sentence, saying it at the same time.
So it was one of these things of like, we didn't want to like combat each other. Not that you're competing for money, but it's a situation of we didn't want to be like, we crossed over in paths so much with what we were doing. It was like, well, we didn't want people to feel like they were obligated to give us both money.
Right, and I didn't want to make people choose, and kind of that's actually what carried over into what made what it was after you left as well. Was like, I know other people are deserving of being supported financially for the efforts that they're doing with all their content. I'm like, I don't want you to have to start up something and like compete with me, and I don't want to have to compete with you and all this stuff. So I'm like, why don't we just all like kind of get together and then have one place to hang out? And I think in the end, it was probably too much. Like I definitely own that, and just trying to bring in too many things under one umbrella. Yeah. For whatever reason, I think just didn't end up working 100%. So there's trade-offs. I knew there was going to be trade-offs by doing that, and I think that the negative started to outweigh the positive near the end. Yeah. I think people wanted to be or wanted to choose. I think I was actually taking away some of the choice by trying to remove like competition barriers or things like that. I actually took away choice from some people to support either one or the other, or I don't know, like, so it made it tougher for people to actually support in some cases. So that was part of the decision, of course, managing that and trying to like weigh what people were telling me versus what like our working group was doing. And you know what though? I know everybody is better for it. So again, to echo your words, I feel proud of the community, of the people that like we've got like people living together. We've got like romances coming on from this, like Nasty Tammy. Is that actually?
Don't say it like that.
Can we call him that?
Call it just call it Tasty. Tasty.
Tasty.
Well,
Tasty.
So here's the question I have.
But, okay, just one other thing I just want to say before that. I truly believe that, and I'm honored and proud and just like humbled to be part of PSVG now having independent feeds. We got them there, and I want them to know that they're not on the hook for like continuing to feel like we just like, well, you have backing now you don't. Whatever it takes, like I personally will be there to help however I can to make sure, like financially, to make sure that that's still feasible for them, because I do believe that's the right move for them, and that will make their content better and more discoverable. Like they owned the spirit of Make Us Better as well as we did.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that they did that. And I feel like they're just kind of taken to the next level at this point. So I apologize. That's all I want to say. Everybody's going to have new announcements, new things coming for PSVG, for Mark and for Jacob with Nintendo Nostalgia and Ryan. So very cool stuff happening for those guys. So stay tuned for that.
My question was, so what happens with the Discord? Is that dissolving?
Yeah, I think it'll shut down.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll shut down. I think that was part of, because PSVG will fire up theirs again.
Yeah, they already did.
Which is like, and I think that's where some people started to like kind of realize what was going on. So we wanted to, I let everybody know a little while ago, and I just wanted to give them some time to figure out like what you want to do when the announcement ultimately comes out, which was today as we record this. So yeah, this is very timely of us to talk about her as the podcast releases a week later.
Yeah, a week later, but that's fine.
But I wanted to make sure that people had the opportunity to take like the bad news, and if they had something, they could spin some good news out of it as well, which is essentially what I did every time something bad happened with Mub. I had something ready to go, okay, it's not all that bad. Like we added these people in or something like that. Like every time there was something new for us to, I think when Joseph left, I think we announced new goals or something like that. So we always had an opportunity. It's the same practices we yell at video game developers and publishers for all the time. If you have something bad, like just distract people with something good. It's politics, it's video games, everything. Yeah. So
Interesting.
Hopefully later on today or tomorrow, as we record this, we'll have some cool things to hear from other people.
The people that, for me personally, because I don't think I ever addressed this, because in my thing, but the people that actually gave me money in that time, man, I am so thankful for you guys, because, dude, guys like Corey Hicks.
We had to create a new tier for that guy.
Yeah, we had to create a tier for him because he was given so much. Same thing with Sheldon Benedict.
Yep.
Like, we created a tier for him.
I think he was the first one. Yeah. And Tony Baker. Everybody from Quest for Pixels has given at least an executive level or above.
Yeah.
That's insane, you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy.
Pretty nuts. So for me, that's where when I look at it, I go like, hey man, you guys are doing, great things, and everybody, like, you guys are just so generous. And that's the thing, like, I look at what was created there and the insane, like, there was a time, and it's still pretty true to that, but there was a time when, dude, these people were rabid in terms of like, I remember going into Discord and just being like, hey guys, can you support this person? And then like, boom, 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 everybody would just fly over there and help. And it's not as powerful at the moment, just because we've all kind of like started to branch and do different things. But I'm hoping that, within the next year in January, I think some things should come together that would hopefully bring a lot of that back. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Sweet. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I got some new stuff that's in the works for me personally, which is exciting stuff. So it's really good. I'm kind of sad to see it end. Not gonna lie. Like, part of me, like, even though I didn't come back and be a part of it.
Funny, I didn't even really think to ask you. Sorry.
No. It like, because part of me, it's my child to some degree.
Yeah.
Like, I was part of the creation of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, definitely. So when it closes, it's just like, it was funny because I was gonna say something to Toby today, but I don't even think he pays that much attention to it anymore. He's like in his own world anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's just totally out of the loop. And so I it's weird for me because I'm like, part of me is like, man, I don't want it to end. I was hoping it would find a way to stay alive, but then the other part of me is like, nah, it was the smart thing to do. Yeah, I mean, it was the right thing to do. So it's kind of interesting. It's whatever.
I feel like it's like PUBG on the Xbox. It served its purpose.
Yeah.
It did its thing, and now everybody's kind of discovering. It just helped everybody kind of through this almost like adolescent time in our content creation. We weren't like new at it. Mm-hmm. We weren't pros at it either. It kind of helped through this bit of transitional period for a lot of us, I think.
Yeah.
And so if you took the opportunity to kind of take your stuff to the next level, then great. If not, then whatever. Or if you feel like you did, then great. That's kind of the whole point. So, but it is. You know what, man? It is what it is. It does feel oddly relieving in a way to kind of like close a chapter on it. It feels. Here's the thing. I think Jason Lacy and I have talked about this. I think he talked about it on Radio's Lame. It's like do you wait until it like dries up and then go like, okay, time to shut the doors?
Yeah.
Or do you close it up on your own accord, your own volition, and just kind of like, this feels right. This is the right time. Mm-hmm. It's a week before baby. There's like everybody's kind of moving in their own ways. So, and super positive. Like, I'm not even just saying that because I'm on the air. Yeah, we are all like, we are brothers in this, all of us. And I've grown such a great kinship with everybody who's been a part of Make Us Better, particularly PSVG, particularly those guys. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
And Joseph's all right.
So I guess
stop taking shots at Xbox, for God's sakes.
He takes shots at everybody. He's whatever with that guy.
Actually, he was just saying something really nice about XO on Twitter today. Yeah, he was.
Whatever. Anyway, whatever. I'm tired of that kid. I'm just kidding. Get out of my basement, Joseph. Go get a job.
Whatever your name is.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to call him Jason. So what I would like to do is, rather than go into, we're going to do shout-outs now, I just want to give a shout-out and just say, like, to everybody that supported Make Us Better, to everybody that was part of that whole awesome time, thank you. And you guys are amazing.
And amazing.
So, we got one topic for today. We are going to get to topics. Todd, relax. Turn the clock off.
Because somebody else complain about topics, so it can just
because there's only one miserable old man that watches the show and listens to the show that complains when the topics start, and that's Todd. True. And I'm tired of it. I'm over it, Todd. Knock it off.
All right.
By the way, Todd, Titans episode 2, amazing. You gotta check it out. So, so he'll know what I'm talking about. That's fine. So the thing is this. We have one topic that we're going to bring, and however long it takes us 5 minutes. We're out in 5 minutes. Takes us 20.
Way, man.
Takes 20. So
this is a multi-episode topic.
Get the hell out of here!
It is, man.
If this is multi-episode, I got problems. You got problems.
We're gonna have to do a limited run series. We're gonna have to do a mini series.
No, let's not say we did. So I'll let you ask a question because
we'll let the people decide.
It was your topic, so I'll let you represent it.
All right, man. Well, okay, so. I want to, you set the stage with this show so well in terms of this is not what every podcast does, right?
No.
Most people do news and they do all these sorts of things. And so we try to have the whole show do something completely backwards.
Yes.
And we've done topics like what games do we want on the next like 64 Classic, or how would we have done the Super Nintendo Classic, or what ports do we want to bring up to the Switch and things like that. We're going backwards mentality, everybody. If we ran Nintendo, what new games do we want on our mobile platform or mobile games? What new franchises would we put in mobile? None. I want phone games, baby.
None. That is all. Thank you guys for that's what you would have done to me. That's what you would have done to me.
No, it's good. That's why we spent so much time at the beginning talking about everything else. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. You don't have to support me on Patreon anymore. That is all.
So the thing is, when you said this to me, I did think that. I'm like, I don't want nothing else on mobile. But then I thought about it. I was like, it's your business. You're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the games that Nintendo has put in the mobile world, have been different than most mobile games. Mm-hmm. B, has made them a lot of money.
That Fire Emblem game is something else, man.
Oh, my God, dude. That and the Animal Crossing game's doing really well for them. I don't like it, but it's doing really well for them. Pokemon Go, unbelievable. That thing's...
Forgot about that one.
That thing's a juggernaut. But they don't really make a lot of money off of the game itself. They make it... off the peripheral, the bracelet, but I don't think they really made much off of that. Mario Run is another one they did, and they do have Mario Kart coming, and they got the new one. This what the hell's the name of it? Dragalia of Regalia.
Oh yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. So the question is what do you do in terms of the next game, the next mobile game for there? I have a couple of ideas.
Yeah.
And I'll go with one that I kind of think could work. There was a game that was not overly successful. I loved it, but I thought that like maybe give it another try, do a sequel to it, and throw it on mobile, and that was Codename Steam.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah, because I think with that you could do something very similar to the Fire Emblem stuff in terms of, because it's a different type of game and it's a turn-based, you can basically do your moves, shut down, go whatever, and then come back and then fire back up and keep going at that point.
I like it.
So, and what I liked about that, it was a really, to me, a really solid franchise. It's a shame that it just didn't get. It was one of those things that Nintendo fans wanted something else, and they weren't happy with the IP that got announced, and it just never got legs.
I feel like the phone in that way, like, kind of offers a different, like, you don't have to have like these giant pillar games on the phone like you would have had on the 3DS or on the Switch for people to give them a chance. Like, it just, like, the Codename Steam just looked like a little weird, a little different for people to go, I don't want to drop however much money. It was a full price 3DS game.
It was like $40.
So people weren't really sure about it, but like on a phone, maybe it's free to play or it's a couple bucks.
Yeah.
That maybe can be a place for, and that's why I'm glad we're doing this topic, is like, what role does even like mobile play for Nintendo? I think that is like maybe a little bit more experimental in that way, or try out new ways for current franchises to work in another like game style. For example, I love the notion of turn-based on phone. So what if you had Pikmin, which is generally real-time strategy, but we saw kind of change a little bit on the 3DS, go into that 2D style, kind of side-scroller type of thing. But like on the phone, I think it would be really interesting to have a turn-based strategy version of Pikmin, because in a way, the way that Pikmin works is kind of like turn-based in terms of like the days and everything that you could almost have using like the days as a usable resource or a limited resource. Yeah. And the amount of time that you have, like every move uses up time or something like that, and you have to try and do your objectives and all those different things.
I don't see,
because I don't think that Pikmin would work in real time, but I don't know. I thought about chopping it up.
I think it would.
Yeah.
I think if you, like what you said, you play, right? And see, if I was Nintendo, the one thing that I would do is a game like Pikmin. I would say, hey, you could either pay $20 and we'll unlock the game for you, or you can get it for free and you only get to play 3 days for free, meaning 3 day cycles for free. And then like you can earn things to unlock an additional day, or you have to wait like 8 hours before the next day unlocks. There's things you could do with that.
There's so many things with Pikmin, man. Think about Pikmin with like the super hyper realistic like backgrounds. You could have like, it could be like an AR game. You play it in your backyard.
That's true. That's very true.
You know what I mean? Like you could take a couple pictures or something, or just have it. That would be, you play in your garden or something, or in your fish enclosure or your turtle enclosure.
Well, it's funny you say that, because you could do Chibi Robo. And not Chibi Robo.
Cool.
There was a Chibi Robo game where you actually took photos of items and stuff around your house.
Right.
So why not just expand it to be in the real world? Like, hey, he wants you to take a picture of a trash can, and so you have to run around and find a trash can and take a picture of it, or different things like that would be kind of neat. Like, do different things like that.
This actually has me excited to play something like that. Because there was a horror game. There was like an augmented reality horror game that they had on phones. I don't know if it actually ever came out. There was a Kickstarter for it once upon a time. And you would walk around your house, and it would use the camera to map out your house, like your main floor or whatever, and it would know where the rooms are. And then you would hit go, and it would spawn monsters and ghosts and everything in your house. But you would be viewing it through your phone, and you turn around, and then like there's a ghost in your hallway kind of thing. Like, I think that's some cool stuff, man.
Yeah, that's it reminds me of there was back in the 80s or the 90s. There was a game. I gotta look it up, man.
It's too many decades for you to remember, Bobby.
It really is.
Oh, here's the Flexposed keyboard sounds, the clickety clickety. I can't even help you. I have no idea where you're going with this.
There was a game back in the day. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up. There was a game. So here's the way it worked. So what happened was you signed up for it. And you had to put in all your information. You have to put your address. You have to put your telephone.
Oh, good God.
You have to put like a daytime phone number and a nighttime phone number and all these different things. And if you had a pager, you had to put your pager number in there. And if you had a cell phone, you had to put your cell phone number in there. And you put your email in there and all these different things. And then it was a spy game. And you would legitimately get a phone call. And you pick the phone call up. And it's a person panicked talking about... This happened. Love it. You have to go, and you're like a hacker, and you would go on the computer, and you have to solve mysteries based on actual like emails coming through, and then you would play like every day. You had to play this game, but you could be at work, and the phone call would come in, and you'd have to write down all the information, and they go. And when it started, it told you had to tell. They were like, tell your friends and your family, because if your mom picks up the phone. And you're playing this game.
That's so funny.
It was weird. It was nuts.
Just jumps right into. You know what the real shame is? Because there's two franchises that used to be on Nintendo systems that went elsewhere that would work perfectly for it. I think Metal Gear Solid and Perfect Dark would have been so cool for that. And I'm trying to rack my brain of like, there's got to be something else. I was thinking maybe Metroid, but probably not Metroid.
Yeah.
Like maybe like not really Bayonetta or anything. I don't know. Like something. I would love that sort of totally interactive. It's so funny to think about. Submitting all of your information because that was we used to do that all the time. We didn't care about identity theft or anything.
Yeah, it was nice.
Like put your social insurance number on there or whatever. Social security.
Yeah, social security.
What's it called? Security. Yeah, we have a SIN number here.
Yeah,
which is redundant to say because the N stands for number. But yeah, man, there's things that you can do with like look at all the things that your phone can do. Or like some sort of like eternal darkness kind of thing. Like, what if it just started like printing out like shit endlessly on your, on your printer? You're just you're just like playing around and your house is haunted. All of a sudden your printer just go like just like
What's the game that was on the GameCube that did that? Like it vibrated the controller and it would like do all this crazy stuff to your controller. Well, like it's similar to like Metal Gear Solid when it would like read your
Eternal Darkness is what I was thinking.
That's okay. So that's probably what that's what it is.
The input and everything.
So there's saves. So I think there's a game that should go to mobile. And I'm not saying to make a new game. I'm not saying to do anything. I'm saying to put this game on mobile.
I think I have the same one. You want to say it on 3?
We could try.
Okay, because it'll be even funnier if we're way off.
Okay,
so let's just do 2, 3.
Splatoon.
Captain Toad. Oh, no. Shit. Oh, damn it. Splatoon. No way.
No.
Toad's way better.
No. I'm saying
that was fun.
Splatoon 2, you put the game on there, and it's just like Fortnite. Where with Fortnite, you could play on your mobile phone, or you could play on Switch, or Xbox, or PC, or wherever. And what I would do...
Motion controls, too, so...
What's that?
Motion, I'm sorry.
It's got motion controls. Yeah. So if I was Nintendo, I would find... Because right now, there's people going like, that doesn't work. It's not for you. It's not for you. My idea with this is you're trying to cater to fans. Like, how does Fortnite work on mobile? I have no idea. I don't even want to find out. I don't even want to know. But you know what? There's a lot of kids that play Fortnite on mobile. You could put that game on mobile, and man, kids would eat it alive. I think. So for me, that would be the way I would do it. And here's how you cash in on that. Don't charge a price for it. Give it a free to play. Charge for costumes.
Absolutely.
You just say, you just go like, hey, here you go. This is a free game. The mobile version is free, but if you want stuff to play here, and make it cross-play. So make it like if I'm playing at home, I can play against you on your thing, and to me, I think it works. Plus it's got online already built into the phone, so you can just jump and play whenever. I think
you could use that app too for chat and everything.
You could actually be talking and playing at the same time. Imagine that.
Same device.
Yeah, it'd be pretty. I mean, technically you could. I mean, that's a crazy thing. We're joking, but technically you could.
I know, right? It worked better than the Switch.
How messed up would that be? So that was my thing. So you're saying,
I said Captain Toad.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your thought with Captain Toad?
Okay, I thought you were like, I thought I completely offended you just by saying Captain Toad. You're just like, no. My thing with Captain Toad is that it seems like a slow pacing. It's kind of polar opposite of what you just said, which is Splatoon. Of I don't necessarily want like an active game, but you're right. Like there is an audience for that, especially given Fortnite. But with Captain Toad, a lot of the game is manipulating the camera.
Yeah.
And I do feel like the slow-paced nature of it and the plotting and the planning of it, plus manipulating the camera, I think works really well in your hands. I don't know if you've played Captain Toad in handheld mode, but I want to just want to touch it. I just want to like kind of look, like kind of take a peek under or over or just around something and then move them and do the thing and get the stuff. So I just feel like for whatever reason, because it's a little slower, because I want to touch it, that's what she said, Captain Toad. I don't know. I feel like that one actually just makes, and it's not like graphically really intense.
No, it's not.
It just seems like a really good fit, and you could buy extra level packs or something like that.
Yeah,
or
you could always add to it and do more to it and add to it. There's another game.
Or it's just lives. Like really, it's just like Candy Crush, where you just get either so much time or so many lives to try and like figure out the puzzles. Yeah. And if you get it, great, you move on to the next one. If not, then you gotta.
That's the thing. I feel like Nintendo is very strong and solid with puzzle creation.
Yeah.
Like, that's what most of their games are basically gigantic puzzles that you have to work through. So, a game like Captain Toad, to me, makes a lot of sense. Like, lean into that and kind of, and go. And ultimately, again, you're cross-promoting, you're cross-marketing. Like, people are going like, oh, I like this Captain Toad game. Oh, it's available on the Switch? Let me go buy it, And that's what ends up happening. Like the only game that we're talking about not changing, essentially, is Splatoon. Splatoon, we're saying, like, make it an exact port, make it cross-play, and let people play it over. But other games we're talking about, like, no, you do something specific and special. One of the game that I feel lends itself to the mobile is Zelda Four Swords.
Oh, snap. Yeah, man. And play it together.
Yeah, where you could get four of your friends just sitting around, or you could play on the internet, whatever. But you could basically be like, here we are, we're at Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. Let's pop this open. Yeah, you just go.
Triforce Heroes.
I wonder.
Oh, that's such a good idea, man.
Yeah.
That would be way better than trying to get, because that's the reason why we never ended up buying it.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea and I would play together.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Like we need a third person.
Like, that's what I would do if I was Nintendo. I would look at games that weren't super successful where they were, and then go, how do we retool these to be mobile?
Oh my god, man. Can you imagine Mario Party?
Oh my god. That's one that I think should go. People are just
Mario Party should be actually like the Jackbox games. Mario Party should move into Jackbox territory with your phone.
Yeah.
So the way that you actually engage with the game is like maybe it's the mini games or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be smart.
The other thing that I was just thinking was, and my mind just went blank.
So many. Look, I told you, miniseries box.
There is a lot of games.
I still have more on my list that we haven't even got to.
Metroid Federation Force.
Okay.
So because that game didn't do well in mobile or in the 3DS.
Yep.
So maybe again that's something you take and you drop into mobile, because here's the thing. Most people that are buying these Nintendo games in the mobile thing, at the start, there are a lot of Nintendo fans.
Hardcore. Totally.
But then they shut it down and they go away very quickly. Like, I can't tell you, I beat Super Mario Run. I haven't touched it since. I haven't.
You still have it on your phone? I still have it. It's still. I
think it's still on my phone. I might have just deleted it.
It's a good game, man. I still stand by that. It's a good game.
But it's not something I want to go back and play over and over and over and over again. Like, it's
like,
okay, I got it, had my fun, done with it. Like, Miitopia, whatever the hell that game, that game didn't do any good. Not Miitopia. What the hell was the one? The Tomodachi Life one.
Wasn't that what it was called? Miitopia?
No, Miitopia is the game where you play, I don't know, whatever.
Oh, with all your Miis.
Yeah. I forget the name.
No, but it's impossible to know.
I can't remember. Who knows? But the thing of it is you have...
Again, that's where you have all the things that like you're kind of experimenting with. Like the fact that Metroid Federation Force came out, people were upset they weren't getting their Metroid game. And it's like, nobody's going to be mad if Nintendo does a weird thing on mobile.
No.
Because you're getting everything and more they could ever want on Switch.
Yep.
And if they want to try out a thing, and if it works, great. And then maybe it kind of like builds over into a main game on Switch. Kind of like what Ubisoft does with a lot of their things. Like they got that pirate game coming out because they've been practicing all their different things with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is okay. Another game that I'll just say it because we don't really need to talk about it. That they can just port right over to mobile because it's on rails. Is I think Star Fox would be a really good fit on mobile. And even the motion controls might actually work even better on the phone, but that's all I'll say about that. I want either an exact game or a slight twist on Dr. Mario. I think could have a series of games on your phone.
Yeah.
Like it itself.
Why is that not? Why?
Yeah.
Tetris you can play on mobile all the time. Like, why is that not out there and being like, because that is a really great game in terms of like, you play a little bit and done. Like, oh my God, dude, that's
challenge your friends.
Yeah,
play
absolutely.
With friends. It could have like when I say is like there could be a series. Like you could have like a Candy Crush version of that. Imagine all the different like pills that can come down with different types of like character faces on them or anything like that, and it could just like explode and you got all your combos and everything. I feel like
because they haven't other than when they did Dr. Luigi, they haven't really ultimately changed the formula with Dr. Mario. Like when you look at Tetris, they've changed that formula numerous times. It's still the same core, but they've done different things to it. Speed trials, different things like boosters and all that.
Marathons and sprints.
Do the same thing, man.
Yeah. Telling you, that would be huge. Dr. Mario on the phone would be enormous. Yeah. That's my closer, I think. I'll leave it at that.
No, I think that's a good place to put a pin in it. It's a really good one, honestly. In my opinion. I think you nail it on multiple ends with that, because I think with a game like that, you're going to get the casual fans, but you're also going to get the hardcore fans. That's a game that like you don't stop. Like that's a game you wouldn't stop. You would just pop it open. You're at the doctor's office. You wouldn't quick like.
That's a game you miss your bus stop with.
Yeah, because you're just in there just clicking. I don't. We don't do buses here. Most people.
Or your train stop.
Most people do.
Your public transit of choice.
That's only you people in Canada.
Okay, well, you get a distracted driving accident because of it. Take your pick. Whatever applies to you. You miss your plane stop. You stay on the plane. Keep going.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. Be sure to check us out over on our social media. You can check out Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the Pants. You can check me out over on Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.